making a cup for you guys. So this is an example of a finished cup right here. And with this, I actually start with a slab that's a little bit thicker for the walls, and I go through and put that on a Shimpo banding wheel and I pinch that out. So then I attach that cylinder to a base. So a lot of people think that when I'm making a cup, I take a ball of clay and pinch it out. But I'm really worried about my wrists and the longevity of just being able to work in the studio forever. So I found this method to making pinched pieces that works really well and helps out with that wrist structure while I'm working. So here I have the slab that I cut out for the cup. So I just took that and I overlapped the seams by about 3/8 of an inch thick right there. So I'm just going to center that somewhat on my banding wheel. And I'm going to start to mesh the seam together using my thumb on the exterior and 3 fingers braced on the interior of the cylinder. So it looks something like that. The seam's now together on the exterior, but I need to make sure that at the top or the rim that seam is then meshed together. And then I have to work on the interior seam, because right there I have this overlap. So this time I'll take my thumb on the interior and 3 fingers on the exterior, bracing that thumb, and I'll begin to mesh that seam together. I'm going to flip the cylinder totally on the banding wheel and make sure that the bottom side of this is together. So because I took those 2 pieces of the ends of the slab and put them together, now what I have going on here is a thicker section of clay on my cylinder. So I'm going to take my thumb on the inside again and 3 fingers on the exterior and just start to pinch that area out and make sure that it's the same thickness as the walls around. I'm going to flip it and make sure that the other side's good to go. And we're good. So right now I'm going to start at the rim at the top. I'm going to begin to pinch. But one thing to really look at while I pinch is how I have my hands positioned on the cylinder. What really helps your wrists is to pinch closest to you. You can see that my wrist is straight with my hand, but if I'm coming from over here on the opposite side, I have this angle happening with my hand and my wrist. I don't want that. So I have my hands on the side closest to me. I'm begin to pinch the rim upward. 2 fingers on each hand on the interior and 2 thumbs on the outside. And when you first start doing this, just play with different amounts of pressure. And I'm just going to go a little bit further down on the wall and do the same thing, pinching upward. One thing that I also like to show when pinching is I can change the angles of the walls. With cups, I like them to be somewhat tapered coming inward, but you can change the direction of where the walls are coming inward or outward just by what kind of angle you have on your fingers on the interior and exterior. So if I have my fingers coming inward and I begin pinching, and you can see that Shimpo banding wheel is really key for this. The walls begin to come inward. But if I take those 2 fingers on each hand on the interior and have them angled outwards, the walls come out. So I'm going to bring that rim back in a bit, and I'm going to kind of collar in by pinching the walls together to make that taper. I'm going to flip the whole cylinder and begin to pinch a little bit outwards because this is going to be my base. And like I was talking about, I want that tapered look on this cup. So pinching outward a bit, bringing my fingers down on the wall. And one thing I want to make sure of is that the walls are really going to be about the same thickness. Because of the texture, some areas are going to be a little bit thicker, but not by much. So that is going to be the starting point for my cup. And you can see right now it's a little lumpy and it's not very cute right now. But what's going to happen is I'll attach this to a base after it gets a little bit leather hard, and then I'll paddle the walls to make sure that they're straight.